All right, what's going on, guys? So, I want to check this out. Got some Panda Express, and for y'all that don't know, I like some Chinese food. I went through and I got the AI, and the AI bot talking to you, and I tried to order a water, and that was a big fail. I had to actually talk to somebody because the AI couldn't figure it out. Anyways, so when I sold my motorcycle dealership and I got into real estate in 2018, I had a conversation with myself that a lot of people end up having at some point in their life, especially if you're transitioning to becoming self-employed. And it wasn't just, I'm going to do real estate, right? I had a couple questions, and I had to ask myself, and the questions basically stem, if I were to do something else, this is before I decided to close shop, right? If I decided to do something else, what would it be? Because, and then I had a couple, criterias, right? And one of the criterias was, as a motorcycle dealership selling sport bikes, I was niched down, and I liked it. It was a lot of fun. I liked it. But I understand the majority of people do not ride these things, okay? Majority of people do not ride motorcycles. Like, the vast majority of people do not ride them, right? A lot less than 1%, probably, on the road, right? So, I said, all right, well, I want to expand what I sell to a broader audience. What do people not just want in life? What do they need, right? Because if you can sell something that people need, think like insurance and that kind of stuff people need, right? What do people need? And in that industry, is it a profitable industry? Like, can you make decent money in the business, right? And people want shelter and housing, and they need shelter and housing because you will literally, as a human being, you will die without it, right? So every single person out there needs shelter. Now, I might not own, condos and, big apartment complexes and stuff. Maybe one day, who knows? But everybody needs some form of shelter, right? So I said, okay, I'm going to go into real estate because it is something that every single person needs, right? And this could be a lot of things, that you're thinking of. It doesn't have to necessarily, be real estate, even though that's what I like doing. But that's how I got into it, and I figured out this is what I want to pursue and what I want to do. Because another question was, and software engineers, you guys are about to understand what I'm talking about, or at least a lot of you tech guys. What is here today that could be gone tomorrow or replaced with AI? Right? Computers, can overseas people take this over? And, real estate is one of those things that is just not going anywhere. Not in our life, not in my or your lifetime, not in my son's lifetime. We need housing, and I don't even know how the housing could change. Sure, yeah, they could turn into square metal buildings and some of that weird stuff they're building. It's the same thing, though. It's housing. You got 4 walls and a roof. You got AC. It's still shelter. So, yeah, that's why I picked real estate, and that's why I think it's a solid platform. If you're going to put a lot of money into something, you can have a safe bet that real estate is not going anywhere. Now, there are ups and there's downs, and the market is cyclical, and you need to know, as an investor, you need to know where you are in that market. And the market, from what I can tell, is kind of shaped like an egg a little bit. It has it'll kind of spike a little bit, it'll go up, and then it'll peak, and then it'll start dropping pretty quick, and it'll have a nice long fall all the way down. The market will get reset, maybe or maybe not with the rates, but prices will have to soften, dampen, and you're at the bottom when everything starts to come back up. Now, this process takes many years. That's another thing that I liked about real estate, is nothing in real estate happens quickly. It's a very slow process. It's not like you put 150K into a stock and you woke up the next morning and had a heart attack because it plunged overnight. Like that is not going to happen with real estate. Now, to defend stocks, I'm not a stock guy, by the way, but to defend them, you could go click and you could be out that fast. You could take a loss, but you could get out really fast. With real estate, it's harder to offload if you need to offload something, and it's easier to get in and out of some other stuff. That is a pro and a con. That's a con for real estate. I mean, I like to be open and honest when it comes to real estate investing, because I enjoy it very much. I was sitting at Panda Express, the drive-thru, and I was thinking, out of all the decisions I could have made, I don't know what my second one would have been, but I'm glad I made this one. You know what I mean? I bought all the property when I sold the business. I took all the capital at that time, and I spent basically, not everything, but I kept my reserves, but everything else went into real estate. And I actually bought at the time, I bought smaller, cheaper homes in a city that was right next to the dealership that I had. And it was just cheaper homes. Like, I was buying properties for, I'll tell you this, I was buying properties for as little as like 50K, right? But this was, this neighborhood wasn't that great, and the house, some of them needed some work, some more than others. Some I was paying like $90,000-ish or a little bit more. But nevertheless, 2020 came, the big boom. But here's the thing: you can't take advantage, and you can't. I hate when people say you got lucky, because it's not luck. Because luck is filling up your gas at a gas station and looking down and finding a winning lottery ticket. That's luck, right? I don't like the word lucky, because you can't get, quote, let's just call it lucky. You can't get there if you're not in the market already, right? You have to be in the market if you want to call it luck to get lucky, right? That's just the way it is. This guy over here is watching me talking in my phone. He's like, who's this dude talking to himself in the car? So, but anyways, that's my ramble for today. For no other reason, just to hop on and chat a little bit. See you guys around.